What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking a look at Tempest Rising, which sort of has itself marketed as the real successor to Command & Conquer. They've even got Frank Klepacki working on the music. Everything here is lined up to be a really solid real-time strategy experience. I played through the demo back when they put that out years ago. Really enjoyed it. So today, they've given me the release copy of the game so that we can play it a little bit early so that you guys can make up your mind whether or not this is the kind of game that you want to play. And so I figured that's what we'll do right now. This video will probably be a little bit longer than my typical videos just because I want to play the game and I'm not really going to have a ton of time in my free time. And so we're going to see how much we can get done here today. We're going to be playing as the bad guys. If you haven't seen Tempest Rising before, there's an alien resource that lands on planet Earth, and so all of the countries are sort of like aligning themselves behind two core factions in order to isolate and get this resource and deprive everyone else of it. Today we'll be playing the bad guys, actually. I think I'm going to play through as the bad guys. When it comes to Command & Conquer, I've always preferred to play as the bad guys. From, you know, the Brotherhood of Nod, which is possibly one of the coolest factions in a video game ever, to the Soviets. I always end up playing the bad guy in games like this, and so that's what we'll do today, especially considering the fact that I played as the good guys all the way through the demo, and so I've already seen them. I want to see what the bad guys look like. So, hop on into the captain's chair. It's time for us to do some hardcore commanding, and let's do this thing. If after watching this you wanted to get the game for yourself, I got a link for you down below in the description. You can check that out. On top of that, you can also find a bunch of other Nerd Castle links that you can give the old clicky to it, be it Discord or any of the other things that I do on the side. I'd love to have you, but let's dive on into this campaign, do some first impressions, and figure out whether or not this highly anticipated game, like seriously, this game is like number 4 or number 5 on the strategy wish list for all of Steam globally. So people are really hyped about this one. Let's go with the Tempest Dynasty. We will start off over here. I was testing out the game a little bit prior just to make sure there wasn't going to be any crashes or whatever. So we will go ahead and overwrite that one, and let's start our briefing.
Our new Major General. Congratulations. Your work in the field speaks for itself. Impressive. Very impressive. You may call me Alex. We have a lot of work to do. For too long, we have been idle as GDF lays claim to the Tempest that is rightfully ours. Our birthright. This responsibility fell to me, and with every fiber of my being, I swore that I would lead our people towards the destiny that my father had envisioned. I will make him proud. Our destiny begins today. Our future will be incandescent, and you will have the honor of lighting the touch paper.
Is he reading off a teleprompter? He keeps like looking off to the side of the camera. I'm like, is this man actually reading from a script right now?
Yes, I have your signal, General. It is good to see you. My name is Lieutenant Melnick. I will be working with you as your intelligence officer for your missions. Command is upping requirements for Tempest harvesting. You will be reclaiming Tempest from Dynasty soil in the Balkans, currently under the control of GDF. A storm is brewing, General. Stand by. I'm connecting your terminal to our command systems. While I get the Umplik online, if you have any questions for me, I'd be happy to help.
I don't really think I have any questions. I'm just happy to be included. I'm also glad that I have an intelligence officer because I'm pretty goddamn dumb.
Understood. All right. I have you in my system. Your task is simple. Get in, gather the Tempest, and get out. Good luck, General.
That's it, huh? We don't have, like, detailed line. Oh, I love the little Command & Conquer style map, like the Red Alert style map. If you play as the good guys, they have, like, hyper-technological, like, 3D displays and stuff. It's cool that when you come over to play the bad guys, it reverts back to this looks identical, including the scan lines, to the map from the original Red Alert and Red Alert Aftermath and all of those games. Yes, let us throw them from our lands atop a torrent of fire and will. All right, so I've got like my little, let's see, what are these guys are dynasty guards. Okay, I just figured that they were going to be.
Our former base to the west. Reclaim it and get the rig back online. You'll be assisted by Pythia. Keep an eye on your radar for important pings. Command's all yours, General.
It's nice that they gave him a good job title, because typically when you play the bad guys in games like this, all of their soldiers are always called like conscripts or something. So I'm glad to see that we gave them a job title that goes along with the cool trench coat outfits that they're rocking. A little crate full of money over here. I'm gonna go grab that real quick, and then we're gonna shoot that real. Run. Don't get killed by the minigun turret. That's a big callback to like the Tanya missions back in the Command and Conquer days. They had lots of like puzzles that had chain linking barrels and things like that that would blow stuff up. So even in the early implementations of this game, you can already tell they've been paying attention to some of the tropes and ideas that were very, very popular in Command and Conquer Red Alert. Get back over here, gun that guy down. He tried to hit the prone, but it didn't save him.
General, GDF is destroying the bridges to cut off our reinforcements. There's a hostile garrison between your units and the nearby village. Proceed with caution. You can use your igniter core to clear out infantry from enemy structures, or look for an easier way into the village. Clearing the village of any GDF presence could win us the favor of local militia groups.
All right. Sounds like a plan to me. Can I, like, target that little tent right there? I was going to see if I could blow up buildings like you could in Tiberian Sun and whatnot, just to get yourself, like, bonus cash or whatever. So a bunch of guys on the hill over here.
GDF spotted. Flamethrowers. It's barbecue time.
I was going to say, so the flamethrowers have a special ability. The flamethrowers kill anything that's nested inside of any vehicle or any building. So their special ability is basically that they can kill off the pilots and they can kill off the guys inside of a transport without actually having to blow up the transport or the tower or the pillbox or whatever else first. And that's actually a pretty big boon. We've got a few more guys joining the army over here.
Standing by. The base is near. Rockets ready.
Okay, so we've got rocket troops over here too. I'm having trouble a little bit visually identifying what I've got. What are you guys right here?
What's the word?
So give me all of my igniters. They'll be on my 2 key. All of my standardized infantry will be on the 1 key. And then the couple rocket units that we got, we'll throw them on the 3 key. That way I have a little bit more control over what's taking place here. I don't know the best way. Maybe we should just ignore that. I don't know if they're going to aggro. I'm going to try to sneak around the back and see how this goes. If they see me and they aggro, I suppose that's the bed that we're going to lie in. But
They come back for us. Everyone ready up.
hell yeah, we did.
The dynasty are here. It's our time. Push GDF out of our land.
All right, get in here and let's torch up some vehicles, man. It's time for us to get some mayhem rocking. You guys go over there. You guys get out here. Start killing off some of those other infantry while they're flamethrowering the building. Nice, clean operation.
Anti-armor rockets. They are slow, but can be ordered to sprint short distances.
Okay, gather everybody up. I think I gotta redo all my command groups for right now. We do have, like, militia over here.
Awaiting orders. Understood.
Yeah, let's put these militia in the general infantry group. We'll just rebind that real fast. All of you guys are back in the 3 group, and then is my 2 group totally taken care of? All right, everything's totally taken care of, but for right now, we'll just zergball around and hope for the best. Our objective wants us to go to the south and reestablish a base. I kind of want to have a little look-see around and just see if there's extra little secrets and fun stuff to find on the map. So let's not go directly to the objective. Let's see if we can find a couple of people to beef with around here. Actually, it looks like that's a dead end over there, and I've already played this mission, so I know what happens next. So let's just go back to the base. I just never followed that road right there. I didn't know if it was going to go in a tunnel or loop around or like how it was going to make our lives easier. All right, so bad guys are here. They're all inside the tower. Flamethrowers, that's all you. Get in there. Infantry, get on over here and start fighting with these cats. Okay, things got chaotic quick. All right. I like what I'm seeing. We've got a little bit of cash on hand, like $1,000, so fix up the base real fast. Get that all repaired. And then this dude down here, I think we've just got to, like, tell him... Oh, that's right. I got to take the Tempest to the rig. All right, well, give me a second. Destroy that fence real fast. Yeah, get that thing out of the way so that we have a little bit more cash, and we'll let the base repair for just like a second longer. And then, where's my technician at? Let me grab him out of the greater blob. There he is. All right, technician, get down here. Fix up the harvester. We'll get that thing cruising and picking up some of the leaves and flowers and stuff that are all over the ground. And hopefully once it's reactivated, we'll have ourselves a little bit of cash flowing on in, because it cost us pretty much every cent we had in order to fix the base.
And use the credits to train more infantry.
Okay, get everybody, like, around. I don't know exactly how many vehicles I'm gonna need, but, like, we'll kind of put people on a vanguard on both the left and the right side of the base. Just sort of, like, split them up evenly. You guys come over here, and then down here, give me, like, 10 rocket troops. That way we can kill off the enemy's armor if it decides to roll on through. And these guys will hold down this gateway over here. These guys will hold down this gateway over here. They seem to be doing okay damage. Yeah, good stuff. Cancel those and give me 5 of those, please. That would be perfect. They're beefing and fighting down here. Flamethrower troops going out to gain the initiative. Put a little bit of flame upside their heads. Hell yeah. All of you guys in here, don't leave him to get butchered. All of you guys aggro. Good stuff. All enemy vehicles down. And I think we just got to hold the point for a little bit. I don't think too much more is going to happen. They brought down a whole bunch of dudes over here with sort of a nasty little two-pronged strike. Let's have our east wing kind of come over here and protect the vehicle, or to protect the harvester. They've also got a lot of tanks over here, so we're going to need some serious rockets on this thing. Otherwise, we're going to have a bad time. Unfortunately, now my defensive groups are all scrambled up, so I'll put you guys over here, put you guys over here. Do I have rockets on this side? As long as I have rockets on this side. I just need rockets on each side for the tanks that they're rolling on through. So far, animation, movement, general voice acting, influence on the battlefield from explosions and whatnot, all looking very, very good. Looking quite cinematic right now. I think they struggle with that tank, so I'll send a couple more of these guys over here. We've also got cash coming on in, so let's just fill the remainder with grist for the mill sort of infantry that can just soak bullets and be a backstop for everybody else. Oh, we got a tank. Rockets. Put some hatred on them. There we go. I do like how the tank stays on the battlefield for a little while too, like the actual wreckage of the vehicle. That's nice. It causes the battlefield to look sort of decorated in the midst of like hot fights like this, where lots of things are fighting and lots of things are dying. Wow, they brought a lot of tanks down this way. I'm getting a little overextended. I'm not sure I'm in love with it, so let's fall back to the base. Give them a little bit of reinforcing infantry over here, because I believe that they're starting to take a bit of a scuffing. The good guys have medics, so they can heal up the dudes that are around, but our faction has technicians which heal up our vehicles.
Primary objective accomplished. You've got the Tempest. There's more in the area, but GTF are calling for reinforcements. Get out while you can. There's a lake to the north. Pack up the rig and escort it there. Your technicians can repair vehicles as you go. Oh, and sell the other buildings. Leave them nothing.
Okay, sounds good. And let's fold this bad boy up over here with his Z ability. And then I want to spend the last of my money. I don't know if I like necessarily need to spend the last of my money, but I'm going to spend off some of my money before I sell everything. So I think we're about ready to roll out. I've been training units over here, and I think we've got enough. I mean, it's the first mission, you know what I mean? How bad could it be?
Enemy airstrike incoming.
Incoming airstrike. Take cover.
Man, they didn't even try to take cover. They just got ate like a snack. I'd rather not be somebody's afternoon prosciutto if I can help it. Where are my rocket guys at? Do I have any rocket guys left? Get my rocket guys over here. Those tanks look like they want to move up on us. Yeah, just give me all my rocket guys. As many rocket guys as you can possibly give me, and bring them all over here to deal with that tank. I don't know if they can run us over like they can in the original Command & Conquer, but bring up the tank busters. I think they had a few infantry up here too, so we may want to have a little bit of fire support.
Loud and clear. Hitting the road.
All right, rockets. Put them to sleep. You guys deal with them. You guys fall back, bait them back into the trap.
Position. Give me the word. On my way.
Okay, good stuff. I'm going to send the cars forward as scouts just to see what happens next.
Warning. Enemy airstrike incoming.
It's not really ideal. Oh, they called it in right there?
Location set.
Wow, they're like bombing their own guys. Okay, a little bit bold. I like these little guys getting veterancies down here. Let's bring the main battle force up. I was all supposed to sell all this stuff, and it seems like we're a part of a faction that's definitely going to throw us out of a window somewhere if we don't follow orders. So, like, let's try to obey those to the crux of the orders, shall we? We'll keep it on the edge. I don't know if I've ever talked about this on the channel, but I love prosciutto. I don't know, I said prosciutto like 5 minutes ago, and so I figured I would just it's a new piece of Splattercat lore. You can log that away for whatever purpose. I don't know why you would need to know that information, but now you know that information. All right, Zergball him. Let's go. There's no need to be all careful about this anymore. Let us ball like the Zerg. There we go. Blow them up to the best of your ability. If we can get a few more guys up here to deal with this tower, that would be fantastic. I wish that I could see its HP bar right now, but it should go down pretty quickly.
Unit is under attack.
Oh, they're just shooting my walls. I was going to say, what are they killing? I can't imagine what I have back over there. What are you guys doing over here? Did you guys get drawn into combat? Oh my god, they got drawn into combat. Okay, somebody shoot that barrel right there to get the turret down. If I can get my rocket guys over here to start dealing with tanks, that would also be a really good thing to get underway. I wasn't expecting them to, like, engage while I was off screen. They apparently decided to seize the initiative here and do whatever the hell they want. You guys just get up here. Let's wipe out a few of these cats. We don't really need to go this way, but I would like for my flanks to be secure just to avoid any accidents happening. We don't want any happy little accidents this time around. Are they going to try to bomb the bridge, dude? That seems like exactly the kind of scum rat thing that GDF would do, man. GDF, always blowing up infrastructure. It's like deep down inside, they just despise civic engineers, dude. They can't stand it.
Enemy airstrike incoming.
Confirmed, General.
Base is under attack.
Where's the airstrike coming in at? Oh, Christ. Okay, way over there. I do like how they can shoot down the jet fighters, though. That's kind of sick.
Blow it up.
Base is under attack.
Is that still up? I don't think it is. It looks like it's not powered. Okay. Bring up the VIP. Get him inside of there now that we've established there's no enemies around. Wow, rocket troopers can kind of outrange their turrets. Good information to know. We've got a little bit of a thing we can do here to counter some of those ideas. You could do the exact same thing in Command and Conquer Red Alert. Rocket soldiers, I think, could outrange the, not the Tesla turrets, but they could outrange the flamethrowers just narrowly by like a millimeter. You had to set them up kind of carefully, but you could troll pretty well that way.
Rig secured. Well done, General. Let's get your troops out of there.
Hey, all right, let's do this thing. Our first victory. Let's continue.
Welcome back, General. Command is pleased with your work. The Tempest you harvested will go a long way to fueling our cause. If you're going to be out there on the front lines, you should know more about it. The Tempest is more than a resource. That's how GDF sees it. But they are short-sighted. It is true power for everyone. Power that anyone can have. It came to us in our time of need. That's what our dynasty was founded upon.
Oh yeah, I was kind of wondering what the little symbol was on her hat, but it's got like the lightning bolts up there, so I think it's supposed to be the plant with like energy coming off of it. Okay, I guess that makes sense. Where did it come from?
The Tempest is the birthright of our dynasty. The radiation that saturates our lands after the Great War makes it the perfect environment for the vines to grow. They start underground in the upper crust, growing straight out of solid rock. But our scientists have yet to find a termination point. It's not like the vines are all connected somewhere. They just start growing. It's as if the seeds were there all along, and the fallout was all they needed to grow. But that doesn't make sense. The Tempest grows even where there is no radiation, just at a significantly reduced rate. 10 years in, and even with everything we can do with it, we still have so many unanswered questions.
Alright.
Understood. Let's get you back out there. Got something a little different for you, General. A Naval GDF task force is a little off course. They seem to have gotten lost in the Black Sea and ended up deep in Dynasty territory. I suppose that's what happens when their scopes can't find half of our bases. That being said, they've brought enough firepower to establish a small foothold. If I may make a recommendation, perhaps you should give them a map when you turn them out of our base. Good luck, General.
That said turf. She said turn. Okay, so we're landing next to the Black Sea. Let's do this thing. I do appreciate that they give you, this is a very old school RTS thing that they just stopped doing for some reason, where in old RTSs you had a video in between like every other mission or so that sort of gave context to the universe and made it feel a little bit more alive. I'm glad that they've brought that back. I've really, really missed that in RTS games. Tonk. Sometimes you just gotta do a still frame. Sometimes you just gotta center the camera on the tonk and have it do its thing, man.
The Dynasty are here! Mind the bridge! Fall back!
I got him.
No, you don't. Don't do that. He just said he was gonna mine the bridge, bro. He said it out loud.
They've placed anti-tank mines on the bridge. If you cover us, we can disarm them.
Okay, let's move everybody up a little bit. I've got myself a bore over here. It looks like it has a tank skirt on the front, so shouldn't this bad boy just be able to cruise through?
India has intel on an informant who was stationed here when GDF attacked. We cannot allow GDF to take him. Reclaim the base and secure the VIP.
Alright, go disarm the mines. The animations are pretty good on these little units right here, too. Like, it's super clear that they, like, applied themselves when they were rigging and animating all this stuff. You get them. Get him. Infantry can kind of do what they've got to do in order to survive. It's the tanks and the armor that I'd really prefer to preserve because they're the expensive part. I think we're just heading to the northwest. What happens if I go up this way? Recapture the construction yard? All right. Can I get there this way? All right, well, it won't let us go that way. It's just a dead-end dry dock over there, so we'll come over this way. We'll have the tanks lead the charge, and hopefully... It's always weird in video games how tanks, they only have, like, a tank gun. A few days ago, we played that other RTS that we were fooling around with, Broken Arrow or whatever, and I really liked in Broken Arrow how you have the tank gun up here, but every single tank also has like anti-infantry, you know, like 7mm rotary guns on it or some kind of like Ma-Deuce.
Was captured around here. Looks like it may have been taken south. It could be valuable to keep our tanks in working order.
Okay. Let's go for the A objective first. This stuff's like Tiberium, right? Like, I can't walk across it. I bet you I can't walk across it. Go ahead, tanks, do your thing. Flamethrowers deal with the infantry. Everybody just kind of do what you can do for right now. I'd like to have a base of operations, though, first, before we start expanding out and going, like, nutty boy mode on these cats. Shoot that right there. That'll probably help out with damage a little bit. Let's get this cordon out of the way. There we go. Cordon's been wiped out. I just don't like having enemy troops in, like, within eyeshot of my base here.
I understand.
I'm trying to weave my way over here before my infantry corps gives out on me. I'm a little bit worried they don't have too many legs left on them, both figuratively and literally. Well, we struck out on that side. You can't go that way. It just takes you back to the river. So we're going to loop up and around this way. It looks like we got like a big runoff culvert right there, too.
Prisoner secured. Let's move.
VIP sighted.
Oh, do I have to rescue that guy? Hey, boys. Will 3 tanks be enough to punch my way through this? I don't know how much they have up here. My thinking is that we should lead with the tanks. And everybody else can be like kind of supplementary here. Okay, get the tank, please. Why are you going back around, bro? Come back over here. It looks like their pathfinding's being a little bit wonk right now, but they can't travel through each other. So I would guess that they're probably going to trip over each other quite a bit in the greater scheme of things. Wipe that out real quick. Good stuff. If I could send an outrunner to go grab this crate over here, that would also be good. We've only got 5,000 in cash on us, so an extra 1K would be nice. Where are the healing barrels at, bro? You remember Command & Conquer, how they had like the little green crates and you would pick them up and they'd be like, ah, and everybody would get all their HP back? Where are those at? We need some of those bad boys. All right, so do I need to put a technician inside of there? Good stuff. All right, so we've got the base.
General, I routed the Tempest rig to your location. All Tempest you see is yours. Deploy it in your base to start harvesting.
Okay. We don't need like a refinery or anything?
The power plant to keep our base power in the green.
No, why you guys come back over here and protect these? This is like the perfect opportunity for the GDF to totally screw over my mission. Like, people don't remember, but Command & Conquer was really difficult back in the day because it was before the internet. Like, back in those days, the internet was a very, very basic thing. So, like, if you couldn't figure out a mission in Command & Conquer back in the day, you just had to, like, slam your head against it for an entire weekend until you finally figured it out. Just sort of adapting your tactics every time. It's made me deeply paranoid about gotchas inside the mission. Because Command & Conquer, man, they love to get you 2 hours into a mission, then hit you with a gotcha that you weren't ready for. And if you hadn't been saving all the way through, you had to start over from the beginning. I'll tell you what, dude, there was like Mission 7 or Mission 8 for the Allies in Command & Conquer Red Alert. It was the one where you get like it's the first mission, I think, where you get the orcas and helicopters. When I was like 11 years old, dude, that mission right there almost like ruined my life, dude. It took me forever to beat that mission. Okay, first power plant's ready to go. Let's go ahead and dropinate that right there. Very nice building animation. Looks very smooth and clean.
Online and provide a large construction footprint.
Oh, that's true. Did it expand like the little concrete paddock?
Shop near a power plant, and we can put distribution mode to work.
All right, you do your thing. Deploy right there. Oh, he is the refinery. Okay, cool. I love the little drones that go out and just like do stuff on their own. It looks like it wants me to go in order for this one. I'm in the habit of building lots of power plants at the beginning of my Command & Conquer adventures, and so I've been waylaid a little bit in that regard. Oh, look at that. My technician is over here soldering concrete or something. All right, machine shop's up and ready to roll.
Excellent. Now we just need to build a radar station and we can locate the spy. Our machine shops are the workhorse of the Dynasty army. With multiple machine shops enhanced by our power plant's distribution mode, we vastly outproduce the enemy.
What have we got?
Where are my technicians at? It says it wants me to lay mines inside this little field down here.
Distribution mode. I almost forgot. Try it out and watch the sparks fly.
There we go. We'll lay some mines down here too, just to like chip away at some of their vehicles when they come in. All right, minefield is down. Looks like that's got a decent cooldown on it. Is it shared across all technicians? It's not. Okay. Give me another set of mines right there. And then after you get done with that, come back. Oh, cool. With power distribution mode, we can make stuff go faster.
Yes, fully charged. With this power, our production buildings go into overdrive. However, it comes with small fire risk.
Okay. Get me some defenses going, get me some more power going, and then after you get done with that, get me a machine shop rocking. Oh, they get my technician? I don't know if they got my technician down there. I do like how when you give an attack order, I've been watching the non-combat units, like the technicians, they don't move. They wait for everybody else to move around to them. That's a little tiny change right there that makes them much less likely to like suicide themselves into a wall of problems that you can't deal with. Okay, just generate power. I'm like shredding my entire base right now with this. I'm gonna get a little batch of these dune buggies ready to go, and I'm just gonna send them out to scout the map, I think. We also have a gun ready to go over here, but I can't build it where I want to build it. So maybe I'll put a power plant kind of over here to increase our base footprint a little bit. And then if that leaves my defenses, yeah, there we go. I'm going to get like 3 or 4 of these. I'm going to kind of like double space them basically all the way across the gap, so that if the enemy comes by, they at least get buffeted with flame. Radar dish is up and ready to go. We'll slap that in right there. Good stuff.
We've traced the VIP to a GDF stronghold in the south. It looks like they're preparing to evacuate. We can't lose the informant.
Are they? Do we have like a timer that we've got to like deal with here? Okay, they captured one of our spies. So like I'm trying to reinforce the base right now so I can go out on holiday. But we may have to move more rapidly. Is my barracks ready to go yet? It's not really a great place for my barracks, so I guess I'll put it right there. Give me like 10 infantry real quick. If I build multiples of these, do they go faster just like they do in Command & Conquer? More attackers coming in, but it looks like the mines mostly got them, so that's good. If you got more mines you want to put down, hit them with some more mines. We'll cover you like a little bit, but not really. Hopefully that's not like my last technician. My expeditionary force is over here, so we'll send them out a little ways just to see what they do. I'm going to keep the rest of my guys. Yeah, I was going to say he's probably going to get murdered. You guys stop going forward and losing the benefit of all of our landmines. See how fast that killed the tank before he even got here? That's what the technician was doing. I don't know if you guys want to pull off to the side over here to make room so that these guys can flow on in. And then what abilities do you guys have? Do you guys have any like cool abilities or anything? No ability bar on him. They do appear to go much quicker if you've got 2. I think you designate just by double-clicking it which one's the primary building. I don't know, it used to be a thing in old RTSs where if you had multiple things that produced a unit, you had to pick one that they would spit out of. Okay, Expeditionary Force.
Incoming GDF attacks on our base.
Okay, let's wait for that to be done then. I don't want to lose my main force. But while we're waiting, just keep printing out more units if you can. Maybe give them a couple tanks to go with them too, so that we have like a defensive blockade, and then we also have a much bigger, nastier sort of army that's roaming around the map doing what it's gonna do. Dude, this music.
Unit ready.
Hit him with the double bass pedal. Get him with that. Big attack incoming. Get ready for him. Pour everything you got on the tanks first. Tanks. Return fire. Good stuff. Alright, you guys pull back along the thoroughfare right here, and I think we should be about done spitting out vehicles and weapons. Alright, we're loaded for bear. Let's take our big batch of units right here. And I say we kind of take them. Oh, these guys are stuck back here. Alright. I guess they're coming out of multiples. Alright, there's our one group. Let's send them out into the field and let's see what happens. We got to push down to A, and then of course we've got to get a salvage van from the GDF as well. So let's ride out and see if we can get the salvage van first because it's closer, and then we'll go for the main objective. Use these guys for scouting real fast while everybody else regroups. We're already taking fire. Okay, so they've got a couple of dudes down here that are going to be a little bit of a headache. Everybody get back. Oh, they've got drones. Fantastic. The good guys have drone operators where they have like a rifle, but they also have a little drone that goes out and does stuff. You can make it use special abilities and things. All right, wipe them out in this field over here. Break down the Hesco or the sandbags or whatever they've got over there. Flame these guys down. Grab the salvage van.
Secondary objective accomplished. The salvage van repairs nearby vehicles while stationary. It can be permanently deployed into a salvage center for increased repair range and build radius.
Oh, so did I just majorly screw up by deploying it that fast? I thought it... Oh, never mind. Okay, so it put something on your click right there. Nah, you chill with me. You chill with me for a little bit. I'm going to need you to, like, buff out some of the scratches once we start getting into the real haywire stuff, because we don't know what we're walking into. Everybody group up on the road over here where they started attacking us from, and then we'll send it to the southwest and see if we can get them took out. All right, boys. Let's roll. Hit that. Because I think that little radar dome thing gives them like a huge boost to the amount of damage they do, or like how fast they fire or something like that. You just chill for a second. The more pain and suffering we can cause here, the better. Good stuff. I think that's like a little mortar launcher or something right there. Okay. Yeah, you might want to shoot down his drone. Everybody in. And then get rid of the drone operators, because the respawn rate on drones is actually pretty fast in this game. So you got to be kind of careful about it. Is he like a grenadier? What does that guy do? Shoot that barrel back there. Okay.
GDF has stolen our research on the properties of the Tempest. Destroy their data core to deny them access to our data.
Okay. If there's one thing I know I care about, it's the sanctity of data. In the middle of a battlefield, all those bits and bytes, they add up, all right? They all add up.
Secondary objective accomplished. Tech center destroyed.
Oop, they're not happy about it. They sent somebody at us. Can you imagine being the guy that has to go out in that car right there? There's a huge enemy like tank corps just breezing through your base, and then your commander is just like, hey, go hop in that Humvee over there and human sacrifice yourself in their direction. No thank you. I think I'm good on that front. When I destroy the silos, will it throw minerals all over the place? That was also a thing in older Command & Conquer games. When you blew up their refinery or when you blew up their silos, what would end up happening is all the resources that were inside of them, it would create a new resource field roughly commensurate to the size of the area that blew up, basically, or like the amount that they had in proportionally. Okay, you go grab the crate. $1,000 always good. I may need some infantry backup, so give me like something like that. Yeah, that'll work. Just get them training. I don't really care what you do, just get them going. Maybe we'll also get a couple...
Unit ready.
2 more of them and 2 more of them. That'll probably churn through our money pretty quick, but like it's not like we're hurting for cash right now.
Unit ready.
Bomb them out. We don't really have a lot of anti-infantry left, so we're sort of brute forcing this right now until our reinforcements come back through. The good news is we're taking out vehicles incredibly effectively. Good stuff. Yup, just pour it on them. Blow that thing up too so that they're not getting the bonus. That's fine. Hand grenades aren't really that big of a threat to full-on battle tanks, so...
Unit lost.
Some kind of fighting going on over here too.
Technician.
Unit ready. Training.
Looks like they've got it mostly mopped up, so I'm not going to stress about it too hard. Looks like we need to go up and around the berm right here if we want to get to that little A point. So let me get my reinforcements cruising now rather than later, so that we've got like just a little contingency of guys that can fire a gun with some hollow points in it, you know, a little Swiss cheese a fool up.
Unit is under attack.
Yes, a unit is indeed under a great deal of attack. You pull out. Oh, they got him.
Where's our technician?
Just stay on them, Rocketeers. Just stay on them. Wow, that was a big push right there.
Unit ready.
We may actually be in trouble here. Luckily, the healing seems to be holding us.
Unit ready.
If you guys could actually shoot that tank, that would be even better before he kills this tank. Because you guys are just going to be sitting here and regenerating for a little bit while I get my army down here, so it's all good.
Unit ready.
All right, these guys are ready to roll, so let's have them regroup with the main battle force. I have no idea how they attacked my base. I didn't even see them flow through. It seems like the directionality of the base, I would have seen them coming somewhere, but guess not. Almost out of resources over here, so I think I'm actually gonna redeploy them, bring back all these guys, and I'm gonna deploy them in the middle of the field over here. They're having to do like a long transit time in order to bring our resources back. I love how segmented this thing is. You can actually see the suspension and whatnot absorbing loads and things while it's cruising around. Oh, I can't get that close. All right, we'll go right there. A few more enemies over there, but it doesn't look like anything other than like a minor attack. All right, so we've been replenished. We're ready to go. Send the scouts out in the front. Woo! Oh, he didn't make it. I tried to pull him out. I tried real hard and got so far. In the end, it didn't even matter. That used to be the song that I sang whenever I was playing like a PlayStation game and I forgot to save for like 4 hours and I lost a bunch of progress. All right, let's go back over here. Oi! How dare you keep living in front of me? That should get some good preliminary damage off on that post. Let's go get the money real quick. I don't think I need the money, but we can get the money. Start building a couple of silos. I don't want to lose any resources here, and it looks like we're moving towards cap. Go up here, get repaired. I like that. That supply wagon right there is a real nice thing to have around. It mitigates a certain amount of attrition that you accumulate while just trundling your way across the map, and it's nice to have. Just drop me a silo wherever. It doesn't really matter. All right, boys, into the enemy base.
Be advised, I'm tracking movement to your east. It looks like they're preparing for an airlift on the other side of that bridge. I've got you authorization for the mine drop support.
Okay. Mine drop support sounds cool. Am I going to have to command 2 armies at once here? Is that what we're looking at? All right, knock that down. If you can hit a barrel, hit the barrel. There you go. Perfect. Fighting seems to be reasonably hot over here. It wasn't my intent to move myself into this perfect little kill box that they've constructed for themselves. Get the grenadier, get the grenadier. He's like mulching our infantry, dude. Pour it on.
Emergency evac protocol. Let's move.
The hell you do?
The VIP is on the move. Disable that vehicle. Don't let it leave.
Well, I mean, they're not going to make it easy, I don't think.
Damn. Engine's taking a hit.
We are airdropping
There we go.
to the south.
All right, everybody pull back. Oh, I don't know if the VIP secured. There's a lot of bullets flying around. Oh, we won! I thought I was going to have to pick him up in like a transporter or something like that and like carry on and get him off the map. Okay, well that didn't go too bad. It does look like we're getting doctrine points over here, and we're getting like bonus requisition and whatnot too. And so after I get out of this mission and we get ourselves taken care of, I'm actually going to take care to show you guys what the doctrines and the upgrades and the progression look like.
Well done, General. We have reclaimed the Black Sea from GDF, and the VIP is currently enjoying the finest Dynasty hospitality as we speak. Let's hope his intel is worth the cost of his rescue. Anyway, your next task is on the northern border. GDF forces have taken... Stand by, General. Your forces are being redirected. This is a Priority 1 directive. Bear with me. The information is still coming in.
Okay, well, let's just get to it.
Command is yours, General. Deliver the package and protect it at all cost. Good luck.
We need to talk. Your work on the battlefield has been admirable. I hope I can trust you with this. The data your charge carries is vital to the future of the dynasty. Escort him safely to the research center, then protect him while he works. GDF are not the only forces at play. You have your mission, he has his. Be mindful of what you say, General. and to whom there are rats in the sewers.
We have our own Yuri? Nice, dude. Okay, so it looks like we've got all kinds of things that we can spend on. So in between missions, we can spend, for doing objectives, you get doctrine points and you get requisition, basically. So with our requisition right now, let's get 40% more damage to our infantry riflemen. I'm cool with that. But it looks like that's going to cost us 2 out of our 3 points, so I don't know if there's any... Yeah, we've got like a grid over here. So I don't really know if there's any point buying anything unless they've got like a 1-pointer around here that'll be a little bit better. Vehicles with reliable systems take 15% less damage. Grenade and flame weapons light the enemy. That's 1 right there for 50% more sightline. I'll take that for sure. Throw that in. I'd love to be able to see a little bit better. And then as far as doctrines go... let's increase our body armor by 15%. I guess I'll make my harvesters a little bit stronger, but that's mostly just to get to power management. That way, all of my plans get like 30% stronger, depending on where we put our points at. And then let's go ahead and deploy it. But that's the doctrine system right there. Oh man, it's cruising. You can tell they paid attention to the visual effects of the old CGI videos as well, just in the way that they decided to light and saturate the scenes. I know that doesn't mean a whole lot to like an end user, but to somebody like me that video edits all the time, I notice the little things they do with the explosions and whatnot to make them look more accurate to the source material.
But I'm picking up a lot of GDF activity. Watch out for patrols and keep the VIP away from the fight.
Oh, we got the flame tanks now though, bro. Okay. All right, what does this guy do? Riot van. So it looks like he's got an AoE stun that knocks out all infantry for 6 seconds around him. I don't know when I'm going to be able to use that. We do have some guys on board, I think. So technically I could bring them on out, I suppose. Yeah, bring them out. Let's do it. So we need to move to the northeast and deliver this spy. We don't have any technicians or anything with us, which is kind of a bummer. So I think in a lot of cases, armor's going to have to lead the charge here. But my general impression of the game so far, having now played for like an hour, is that this is really, really good. It feels good to play. It sounds good to play. Clicking and all that kind of stuff feels very responsive. Minor pathfinding issues, but I don't think that's a game fault so much as it's like units have different footprints, and because they all have collision and they need to mind each other, you know, you're going to end up with them tripping over each other just like vehicles would when they go through choke points and whatnot. So far, I've really been enjoying my time with it, though. It seems like the game's a great bit of fun. I can't speak to the efficacy or of how good the multiplayer is going to be because I don't really play multiplayer in games like these. I tend to mostly just play the single-player campaign, do a bunch of skirmishes, and then be on my way. And so, if you're looking for multiplayer impressions, unfortunately, I do not have those for you, nor will I have those for you, because I'm not a big multiplayer guy. But so far, it's been pretty fun. Did they put down mines? I don't know if they put down mines or not. Keep the riot... What does the riot van have equipped? It has a gun. A mounted minigun? Okay, so it's good for anti-personnel. I'm about to lose this tank right here, so bring him around to the back of the formation. And then we'll chug up to the northeast. We'll get ourselves set on up, and I think that's probably where we'll call it a day at. But I'm digging it so far. If you are a fan of Command & Conquer or StarCraft or whatever else, it seems like the units are pretty fun. They're still, like, tropey in order to remain loyal to the source material, but they do have, like, little abilities and things that they can do that you haven't seen before from a Command & Conquer style game. And so I don't really have a whole lot of complaints right now. I mean, taking a look at the settings as well, every setting that I felt like I needed in order to play the game properly. The operand one here, I'll show it to you. Invert drag scroll. this. I can't play without it. I've had an inverted drag scroll my entire life for playing RTS games. I literally cannot play the game without it. So if your game doesn't have drag scroll and it doesn't allow me to rekeybind WASD if it doesn't have the drag scroll, I'm just completely and totally hosed. And so I'm really glad that they had that setting there, but it seems like the game's got a solid amount of little options and things that you can play around with here, up to and including colorblind palettes just in case, you know, you have trouble with that. They can take care of it for you right there with the activation of a button. As far as audio goes, I don't know if we can do unit barks inside of here. It looks like we can silence the unit barks, so that's really good as well. That's another thing that I look for inside of any RTS game. So I don't really see a whole lot to complain about. I think they did a really, really good job with this. It feels like Command & Conquer. It really sincerely does. And I think that Frank Klepacki's work being in the background in the soundtrack helps out with that a ton too. But my name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, I was giving you a nice little brief first impressions. Well, brief at an hour, I suppose. Edit it down, it'll be a little bit shorter, but ultimately I'm pretty happy with this one right here. If you're looking for a CNC inspired experience that really captures sort of that Westwood vibe just with really, really good graphics, I haven't seen anything in particular to lose my mind about yet. I'm pretty happy with this. Like, I grew up with Red Alert and this feels like it. It was one of my first games on the computer, and so it's a pretty good time, man. Tempest Rising. I'll see y'all later. Thanks for stopping on in. That's all I got for you.